Boom. American Audio. WM419. That's right. American Audio. America. By the way, you know it's American when the technical specs on the back are in Spanish. So during a time where we can find a lot of great budget gear, getting a good wireless microphone is still a challenge for my budget. And in doing my research, I came across these American Audio microphones, and the price was good enough, just good enough where I could say, sure, I'll give it a shot. So here we go. So upon first impressions, I actually like the build quality of this microphone. It's a hard metal case. I like that they have this rubberized ring around it with edges. This way, if you were to set it down, it just doesn't roll over and fall down. Nice digital display. You can see the frequencies. This mic is a UHF microphone, which is great. It also has a spectrum of frequencies that you can work with. So it's not just fixed to one frequency. On the receiver unit, there's an option for one output, or you can have multiple outputs for each channel. I actually have 4 microphones, so there's 4 outputs on the back of this receiver for each one, which is another great feature. So as far as features go, this thing is hooked up. Now, what I'd really like to test is the audio quality of these microphones and compare it to some other ones. So before I get further into this review, I want to run a scenario by you. You're doing live sound for an event. You got your devices all set up, you're doing your nice cable management going on, you have wired mics, and you got everything set up nice and neat. The event begins with singers. They come up and you notice right away that they just don't like you. You're getting weird looks from them. They're pulling on the microphone. They want to go across stage. They want to run long distances, but they can't because they're stuck to this mic. So anyways, that's a problem. So the next part in this service goes to this sweet old lady. She's coming up. She's going to go pray for the world. So she comes, and as she's finishing her part, she leaves, and you notice that there is a trip hazard that's about to happen because of the wired mics. And oh my God, it is happening. You rush to her, you dive to save her just in time, because you can't just let that happen. You're a gentleman, and really it's a liability. Let's be real. So you may be asking yourself, Lenny, it's 2020. Why are you still using wired mics? That's a good question. Wireless mics are too expensive. So you're talking about decent quality. You're talking about a minimum of $350 for one wireless microphone. I don't know about you, but that's just not in my budget. Now you can find cheap wireless microphones, but the cheap ones are cheap for a reason. They just sound horrible. Let me give you an example. In fact, before I give you the example, let me let you in on a little discussion that I had with myself in my head. What's this here? Wireless microphones on the Wish app? Then the logical part of my brain comes in. Lenny, come on, you ain't getting no wireless mics from the Wish app. Yeah, but look at it. It looks exactly like the Shure wireless microphones. That's just looks, man. You know it ain't the same quality. No, but wait, maybe the Chinese have done it. Maybe they did a successful clone of the Shure wireless microphone. Really? 2 for $30? Come on. Don't you think they could have charged a little more than that? Well, maybe they just really don't like American dollars. Now, the mediator part of my brain then jumps in at this point and says, all right, guys, look, we know it's not the Shure wireless microphones. At the same time, it is 2 mics for $30. Why not? And the result of that is, and this is the sound from the cheap microphone that I got from the Wish app. Now, recording this straight into the camera, you might not notice much of a difference. However, in a live sound situation, what ended up happening was, well, let me give you an example of what this sounded like. Peter Piper picked a peck. I can't say that. Who came up with this anyways? I'm not. All right, real live situation example. Preacher, someone comes up to the mic and, porque para siempre es su misericordia. Yes, they preach like that. Where I come from, they all preach like that. So what was happening was, whenever this mic was being used, all of a suddenly, all I'd hear was like, I got scared. At first, I was looking around. I thought it was some kind of terrorist attack. I mean, I got prepared right away. But I was hearing all these explosions. It was like a rumbling going on. It was crazy. So then I noticed this became an intermittent problem. What had happened was, at this particular event, there was a preacher and a translator. Now, the preacher had some nice, fancy, wireless Sennheiser mic, and the translator had my cheap Wish app mic. So I'd hear the explosion, and then it stopped, and then it started again, and then it stopped, and then it started, and then it stopped. So it turns out my cheap wireless, my cheap Wish app wireless microphone was causing all these explosions and hearing all this rumbling, and it was crazy. The funniest thing about it was the translator was this young girl with the squeaky voice, and you would just never imagine all that boom 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 going on with her voice, and it was I thought it was funny. So anyway, I told myself I ain't doing that again, and I am back on the American Audio microphone. Now, depending on what device you're using to watch this video, maybe it's your phone, maybe it's headphones, as you listen and I'm changing between the microphones, you may not notice such a drastic difference. However, I assure you that in a live PA setup where you have these big speakers going on, all the plosives, all these explosions from the mouth, you hear them very loudly, and it makes for just a poor audio quality. So yeah, you can spend money and buy one wireless Sennheiser or Shure microphone for a minimum of $350, but that's not how I roll. I got this 4-pack of wireless microphones for $300. 4 mics for $300. It's not too bad. Now, I do not have a nice fancy Sennheiser mic to test this with. So what I'm going to do is test it with a Shure SM58 wired microphone. It is an industry standard microphone. So I think it'll be a good comparison for this video. All right, testing 1, 2. This is the Shure SM58 wired mic. It is an industry standard microphone. This is the sound from the American Audio microphone. Testing 1, 2. SM58 testing 1, 2. American Audio testing 1, 2. Let's do a real world test, shall we? Back to that scenario that I was telling you about earlier.
Porque para siempre es su misericordia. Porque para siempre es su misericordia. Porque para siempre es su misericordia. Porque para siempre es su misericordia.
And there you have it. A real world test of the American Audio wireless microphone. So some of you may be asking me, Lenny, you must be exaggerating. They're not really preaching like that. Oh yeah. Not only do some of these preachers blow into the mic, but how can I put this? They eat the mic. It's like the microphone is literally inside of their mouth, and I can hear everything that's going on in the mouth all the way down into their digestive system. I hear the stomach juices. Like, it's crazy. They are literally eating the mic. My God, why? All right, after listening back to the audio, I'm going to go over my final thoughts on this microphone. So, overall, it is a great bang for your buck. As I mentioned earlier, it has all the great features. It's a sturdy microphone, nice digital display, has the spectrum of frequencies, has the multiple outputs in the back of the unit. All that by itself makes it a great value. However, I was not impressed by the audio quality. I do believe that the SM58 performed a lot better, especially when the plosives were involved in that. Overall, the audio quality is not too bad. I just think they needed to work more on the internals within the capsule area to help filter a lot of those sounds out. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on this microphone. Let me know what you think about the audio on this of this microphone. Go ahead and leave me a comment, and let me know what you think. In fact, go ahead and just comment on anything. I don't care. You know what? Never mind. Don't comment on anything. People be crazy. But yeah, leave a comment on the subject matter, or if you want, let me know if of a suggestion for in the future video. So yeah, I'd like that too. Just yeah, we'll get it going. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna leave this video here, and I hope it was useful to some of you out there. And yeah, all right.